In this graph, we're going to look at the renal fluxes for a reabsorbed solute, solute X. And a reabsorbed solute is one that is filtered that we do not want to excrete. And so the nephron wall has to reabsorb it to put it back into the bloodstream. And if you recall, excretion of a reabsorbed solute, J excretion, J for flux, would equal the rate at which it's filtered minus the rate at which it's reabsorbed, the rate at which it's being saved from that filtrate. In our graphic down here, we're going to graph on our y-axis the rate of flux of our different renal processes relative to the plasma concentration of this reabsorbed solute X. Now, we're going to look at the flux of filtration, the rate of filtration of this solute. We're going to look at the rate of reabsorption in green, and then the rate of excretion in our dotted blue line. Now, in the normal range for solutes down here on the left, we're going to focus here first. And as our plasma concentration of this solute rises, what we're going to find is that because all small solutes are freely filtered, filtration in our dashed line is going to go up 1-to-1 with our plasma concentration rising. But because this is a reabsorbed solute, something we do not want to excrete either at all or very little of, we're going to find that our reabsorption is going to rise at the same rate as our filtration. So for a nutrient, for instance, we would want the filtration and the reabsorption to match so that our excretion would be 0, no matter what our plasma concentration is within this normal range. If it was an electrolyte, well, there are extra electrolytes coming in our diet that we do need to excrete to maintain homeostasis of the extracellular fluid. In that case, our reabsorption rate would be slightly lower than our filtration rate. That would bring our excretion slightly above 0, allowing us to excrete the extra that's being brought in our diet. This would be hormonally controlled. We need to adjust the rate of excretion of particular electrolytes based upon our intake. Now let's come back to the nutrients for just a moment. In our normal range, you'll note that we reabsorb everything that we filter if it's a nutrient, right? Our excretion remains 0, even at the high end of normal here. However, if we were to exceed those normal levels in the plasma of these particular nutrients, let's use glucose as an example, what we're going to find is that we're going to reach a limit, a maximum at which the nephron transporters can function. This happens in diabetes mellitus, the key characteristic of which is hyperglycemia, too much glucose in the extracellular fluids, including the plasma. And so as our filtration of glucose goes up and up and up, what we're going to find is that we saturate our nephron transporters and reabsorption rate will plateau. Right? They're working maximally, even though our plasma concentration could go higher and higher here during diabetes mellitus. This is a disease condition here. But what we're going to find is that we reabsorb at a fixed level here, a fixed maximum, our transport maximum. Everything we filter above that level, everything above our maximum reabsorption that we filter, will end up being excreted. This gives us one of the key characteristics of untreated diabetes mellitus, which is excess glucose in the urine, and it's going to actually cause that to drag a lot of water with it, and they're going to have an extra large urine volume as well.